Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and we are back with another rack store pickup, and this time I was able to find something at my local Marshall's. It's been pretty infrequent that I've been able to find a fragrance at Marshall's or TJ Maxx. Burlington seems to be carrying the weight of most of my rack store videos, in part due to the fact that they've really upped their inventory on mainly Lattafa fragrances, Middle Eastern gems. Today I wanted to grab one that I know that a lot of you guys like. You've mentioned it in other rack store videos, one that I've passed by that you have said is really good. Now, when this scent first released, this is not one that had been on my radar. I guess a classic to some degree for some people. Scent we were talking about is SoCal from Hollister. And this is a big bottle. This is a 6.7 fluid ounce, so 200 mLs, and I paid $24.99. So you're definitely getting your money's worth here in terms of volume to price ratio. Now, the only question is that this is an eau de cologne concentration. On the back, the brand describes it as beachy and warm, and then they have some ingredients listed. So yeah, as I always do, I'm gonna bust this open. I'm gonna get this on skin, walk you guys through what I'm picking up, and ultimately let you know if SoCal from Hollister is actually any good. Let's get into it. So yeah, they're not messing around with this bottle. This thing is huge, basically the size of my head. And it is, again, the 200 ml. Pretty straightforward bottle, kind of flask style. You have the, obviously not the pop cap, but just the shape of the bottle. And then you have the raised glass here, SoCal Hollister. And yeah, dark juice. So I don't necessarily get the beachy warm vibe by looking at the juice, but never judge a book by its cover. Got a really cheap feeling plastic cap. Let's see what the atomizer does. Not the best atomizer, kind of shoots out pretty short. But okay, yeah, in the air, I'm definitely reminded of immediately the mall in like the early 2000s. I'm not exactly sure when this fragrance was released. My guess is sometime around that time, but yeah, okay. Definitely getting that mall Hollister / Abercrombie vibe. Hollister always felt like kind of the little brother to Abercrombie and Fitch, at least when, you know, I was frequenting those places. And as a matter of fact, Abercrombie now, some of their sort of whole design language of their clothes has changed, and it's kind of become popular again. But Hollister, they always had the big name brand sweatshirts and all that. Wasn't my thing personally, but I know a lot of people shop there. So, and it is reminding me of that. Picking this up in the air, you're gonna think that you're in the mall, early 2000s, maybe listening to My Chemical Romance or something. Let's see what this does off of skin. Okay, so off of skin, oddly authentic smelling. I'm picking up definitely maybe like a sage or something. Something very green, watery, aquatic.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
My watch. There's also a fruitiness here, sweet, but well done. So when I say that, it's just everything's kind of tempered and smells like put together, and it's not overdone in any way. It doesn't smell synthetic. So it is an eau de cologne concentration. So there, you know, it's going to be much weaker, I would expect, than your typical eau de toilette in terms of projection and just initial, you know, sort of presence of the fragrance. It's not going to be as in your face as something like that, being an eau de cologne. But right now, I'm liking it. It is reminding me of other things as well. Think Tommy Hilfiger. Again, reminding me of the late 90s, early 2000s. It definitely has that type of scent DNA. So with that being said, it is a bit of a dated fragrance. Now, I would also say that at the time, this was probably more youthful of a scent. So I would recommend it in terms of like being a high school kid. Yeah, go to Hollister and grab a bottle of SoCal. But now, today in 2024, this again might smell a little bit dated to some people. It's not overly sweet. which is typical of fragrances today, especially fragrances that young guys like. High school kids, they are leaning more towards the sweeter fragrances, and this has sweetness, but it's a natural smelling sweetness. I'm not sure of the notes. I'm going to take a look at them really quickly.
A few moments later.
So the only notes I could find are on Perfume, and they have listed pineapple, rosemary, and suede. The rosemary I was mixing up with sage. That's that green element I'm picking up, and it's very rosemary dominant. Not my favorite thing in fragrance, but especially with the lack of sweetness, it can smell very vegetal, and that's what I'm picking up here, smelling almost like you pulled like a vegetable from the garden. Now, with that being said, it has an authenticity to it, which I appreciate. Just not something I might want to reach for that often and wear. That's not to discredit the fragrance. I think the fragrance for the price is really well done. The suede, yeah, I can see the suede being there. It has this kind of smooth touch. It's, again, eau de cologne concentration. Nothing is harsh here. Smells really natural. The only problem with that is, my guess is that with the lower oil concentration, less fixatives, all that, you're not going to get the longevity here or the overall performance. But I think you should know that going into buying an eau de cologne concentration, you are sacrificing some of that performance. I see some people have compared it to JPG Les Beaux. I'm not getting that personally. I'm not even really picking up that much of the pineapple. I guess if I really focus on it, I can kind of imagine pineapple. It does have a kind of a riney feel to the sweetness. Again, not too sweet. So it has an authenticity to it, which was what reminded me of fruit initially. So yeah, the pineapple would make sense. But yeah, overall, I like the scent. Is it one that I'm going to reach for that often? Probably not. There's just others in my collection that I enjoy more that do something similar. But if you're on a tight budget, you want a natural smelling, kind of fruity, warm type of fragrance that is going to remind you of the early 2000s. This is it. This is it in a bottle for sure. There's a lot of fragrances probably at the time that smelled like this. Tommy is one, obviously, that stands out, but there's others too. Like there was one from Kenneth Cole, Signature, I believe. That's kind of reminded me of this a little bit. So in that sort of same family of fragrances. Yeah, would love to know what you guys think of SoCal from Hollister. Is this one that you've tried? Is it one that you have loved for years? I know this was a lot of people's signature scent in high school. Drop it in the comment section down below. And as I always do, just like the 7 fragrances sitting behind me, last week's rotation. So if you guys haven't watched that video, go check it out. I'm going to wear it, see what type of performance I get, and update you guys later. But if you like what you saw today, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this video, hit that bell notification so you're updated whenever I upload new content. But until then, have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next video.